Welcome. We are the Capstone Group Number 1 from the Institute of Business and Computing Education from Mabalacat City College. Today, we take you on a captivating journey to the heart of Pampanga as we introduce Kapam-Pamangan, a cross-platform application devoted to celebrating and preserving the rich culture of Kapampangan cuisine.
Pampanga is renowned for its vibrant festival, flourishing arts, and its standing as the culinary capital of the Philippines.
Home to many popular dishes like sisig, kare-kare, tocino, brinhe, and many more. Pampanga has become a culinary haven for many. Pampanga has fostered talented chefs, shaping a vibrant culinary culture. Why Kapam-Pamangan? Despite Pampanga being regarded by many as the culinary capital of the Philippines, our research identified the gap and dedicated Kapampangan recipe apps in the international market.
Recognizing this gap, we saw an opportunity to preserve and promote Kapampangan recipes by harnessing the rising market for mobile recipe apps.
To identify the needs, we conducted a preliminary survey involving 120 students from the Institute of Hospitality and Tourism Management at Mabalacat City College.
The results endorse the demand for a dedicated mobile application to promote and preserve Kapampangan recipes in the digital age.
The main objective of this study was to create a Kapampangan user-friendly mobile application showcasing the diverse array of Kapampangan recipes. User can easily explore, learn, and create these culinary delights through a seamless interface. Let's take a look at how the project was created. Our methodology following the modified waterfall model guided our project through distinct stages, which are requirements gathering, designing, implementation, testing, operation, and maintenance. Each phase contributes to successful development of Kapampangan. Our journey began with thorough research, drawing insight from various sources such as journals, books, and online resources. Simultaneously, we consulted with culinary experts, conducted preliminary survey. These efforts were essential in gathering the necessary information and knowledge for our project. Through data gathering, we identified two renowned Kapampangan recipe books, namely Aching Lilian's Heirloom Recipe by Lilian Mercado Aldising Borromeo and Cocina Sulupena by Jean Gonzalez. For the development of the project, we employed a desktop computer as our primary development platform, utilizing a suite of software development tools including Visual Studio Code. To ensure cross-platform compatibility, we chose Plotter as our main programming framework.
We employed various diagrams and analysis tools to ensure a structured development approach, including storyboards, visual table of contents, menu tree, use case diagram, system architecture diagram, and Gantt chart. These tools provided clarity in user interfaces, navigation, and project timelines. Our project is divided into two integral components. The first part is the mobile app, designed for users to access and interact with the features, explore recipes, and engage with culinary content. The second part is the administrator panel, a powerful back-end tool that allows administrators to manage and update the application's content efficiently. Our study involved testing phases, adhering to ISO 25010 standards to evaluate the developed project. In terms of deployment, the application is now accessible in the Google Play Store for users, while administrators can access the panel through a dedicated web domain. Now, as we further explore the Kapam-Pamangan project, let's shift our focus to the features and functionalities of the developed system.
Alright, so let's start by opening the application. So this is the first screen that the users will see after opening the application. Pressing this button will direct them to the login page where they can either log in or sign up by pressing this button, or they can also continue as a guest. For the purpose of this demonstration, we will be logging in. So after logging in, the users will be directed to the home screen, which is this screen right here. Here, the users can view top or featured recipes such as the sizzling sisig. And also on the bottom side, we have a categories button, which when pressed will allow the users to view specific recipes in that specific category. On the top left side, we have a button, which when pressed will open the navigation sidebar, and the users can press any of these options to navigate to different screens in our application. The recipes gallery is where the users can see all of the recipes available in the application. On the top side, we have the search bar where the users can search for specific recipes, and we also have a filter button here, which when pressed will allow the users to use specific filters for searching recipes. Then here we have a section for Kapampangan recipes, as well as shared dishes, which are recipes that are shared by the user. So when we open a recipe, you can see a detailed view of the recipe as well as other information such as its description, the ingredients here, and then the directions, and lastly the other resources such as video tutorials and image links. On the top side, we have a like and bookmark button, and then we also have additional options here for personalizing the recipe, adding it to the grocery list or the weekly planner, as well as reporting the recipe. So if you notice, we also have two buttons below, which is the play and the cook button. The play button is available for featured recipes. When pressing this button, it should display videos created by the researchers on how to cook this specific recipe. And pressing this cook button will display step-by-step directions as well as an animation on how to cook this specific recipe. So let's press this. Alright, so here is the animation, here is the step and the description on how to cook this step. We also have a progress bar on the top side, and if you notice, we also have this globe icon. Pressing this icon will display eco-friendly tip for this specific procedure. We also have the next step button on below, so pressing this will progress to the next step. Alright, so let's keep on pressing that. And once done, we can just press this done button. And there we go, so cooking is already finished. So let's proceed to the ingredients list. Here, the users will see all of the ingredients available in the application. On the top side, we have the search bar, which will allow the users to search for specific ingredients, and we also have a quick navigation option here for easier access to the fridge and the grocery list. So on the bottom part, we have the categories, so users can select one of these options to categorize the ingredients that are displayed below. So for now, let's set it to all, and then let's close this. And then here, the users can select one of the ingredients, and it should open up a prompt. So for now, let's add 50 as the amount. And once we've added, you can see that the ingredient we added is here on the list below. So it says one ingredient selected, and we can either edit the quantity or delete this ingredient. And then once we're satisfied with all of the ingredients that we selected, we can either add it to fridge or add it to the grocery list. Now in cases where the users cannot see any ingredient or a specific ingredient that is in our application, they can instead choose to create a custom ingredient by pressing this button here. So pressing that, the users can add the ingredient name and the measurement, and once done, they can just press the add button to add the custom ingredient. So moving on to the grocery list, here the users can add or create their own grocery list. So for now, we do not have any grocery list. Let's press this plus button to create our own. So as you can see here, we have two options. We can either add a recipe's ingredients or create our own grocery list. So for now, let's select the first option. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna select an ingredient, a recipe, and then we're gonna press this and press the add to grocery list option. Now once we return to our grocery list, you can see that that recipe had been added. And we can also create our own by pressing the second option, and we can just add our own custom name. So once we open the grocery list, you can see that all of the ingredients for that specific recipe is now listed here, and we can either edit it, such as editing the quantity or deleting it, and then we can also check these specific items. On the top side, we also have additional options for checking all the items and adding the selected items to the fridge. For now, let's press the check all items option. And as you can see, once we check all items, it has a prompt that allows us to add all of the items selected into our fridge. So we can just press that. And there we go. So let's proceed to the fridge screen. So this is a virtual fridge where the users can keep track of all the ingredients available in their fridge. So on the top side, we have the category section, and the users can select one of these options to filter the ingredients displayed below. On the top right side, we have the additional options so that the users can either add ingredients or delete the selected ingredients. To select an ingredient, they can simply press one of this and then add the desired amount, or press the select all button and press add. They can also press the select all icon button on the top right side to select all the ingredients available. Once done, they can press this button here, and what it does, it should display all of the ingredients you selected, and they can now generate recipes. So as you can see here, we have a generated recipes or recommended recipes, and then these are the recipes which have all the ingredients available in your fridge. So if you notice, we have here this green icon here. That means all of the ingredients in your fridge are available, so you can cook this recipe. And then below, we also have this icon right here. And what this means is that although some of the ingredients on your fridge are available, and some are still missing. So if you press this, you can see all of the ingredients that are missing in order to cook this recipe. So once we're satisfied, we can simply press this arrow button to navigate to the view, which will allow the users to view this specific recipe. So here we have the personal cookbook. This is where the users can see all of their personalizations. In the personalized recipes tab, they can simply press this plus button to add their own personal recipe. And once done, so they can simply fill up this form right here. And once done, they can press the save to personal cookbook button to save it to their personal cookbook. On the ingredients tab, we have here where the users can add their own custom ingredient by pressing this plus button right here. On bookmarks tab, they will see all of the recipes they bookmarked, such as okay, and that same goes for the like recipes tab, so it should display all of the recipes that are liked by the user. Moving on to the weekly planner, this is where the users can plan their recipes. So for now, we do not have any recipes planned. In order to add our own recipe in the weekly planner, you can just press this button right here. Then we can select a recipe and then press this option and select the add to weekly planner option. And here you can see a day option, so we can select which date we want to add this recipe in, and we can also select what schedule it should be. For example, breakfast, lunch, snack, or dinner. So let's press this add button. Alright, now once we return to the weekly planner, you can see that this recipe has been added. So in order to view this recipe, you simply need to tap this. Now let's check out the converter tool. So the converter allows the users to convert specific measurements into their desired measurements. So here, they can select the initial measurement, for example cup, and say for example we want to convert our cup into teaspoons. Now we can simply just add a value here. So let's say for example 1 cup, and it should be equivalent to 48 teaspoons. And on the top side, we also have this option here for other measurements, such as the milligram, gram, kilogram, pound, and ounce. So let's proceed to the account screen. This is where the users can edit their profile as well as select other options. On the top right side, we have the notification bell. So pressing this will display all of the notifications that is available to the user. You also have an edit profile button here available to users who are currently logged in. So if we press that, it should display options to change our avatar, change our username, our password, as well as an option to delete our account. Then below, we have the profile navigation settings here, so they can simply press one of these options here to navigate to the personal cookbook, the ingredients, the bookmarks, or the like screen of their personal cookbook. And then we also have the tools section right here to navigate to the converter screen. And then we have the preference options here. So here they can enable or disable the dark mode, like so. And then they can also enable or disable the eco-friendly tips that are displayed in the step-by-step direction screen. On the bottom side, we have the contact us screen. So if we press this, it should display information on how the user can contact us. And then we have the about screen right here to display all of the information available for the application, as well as the terms of use and the privacy policy. Then lastly, we have the logout button, which when pressed will log out the user. And that's it for the Kapam-Pamangan mobile application. Alright, so here we have the administrator panel. When the administrator first enters the website, they will be directed to the login page. And here, the administrator must input their credentials, including their email and password, in order to access the full functionalities of the administrator panel. So for the purpose of this demonstration, we will be logging in. Once the administrator has successfully logged in, they will see a welcome screen. So here, there is a simple welcome message, and if you notice on the top left side, we have a button. When pressed, it will open the navigation sidebar, and the administrators can select one of these options to navigate to the different pages that is available in the administrator panel. So let us first explore the dashboard page. Here, the administrator will see all of the information and insights that are available for the application. So in this section right here, we have the likes and the cooks count. So it would display all of the total amounts of likes and cooks of all the recipes available in the application, including the Kapampangan recipes and the shared recipes. On the bottom section, we have the recipes section. So it should display the count of how many original recipes there are, how many shared recipes there are, how many pending and recipes reported. And then on the top right side, we have the account section. So it would display all of the total counts of how many users there are, and then how many new users there are today. And then on the bottom side, we have the total assets count. So this would be the assets that are available in the application, including the ingredients, the animations, and the eco tips. And on the top right side, we have the deploy button. So this will appear once the administrator had managed something in the content of the application, and once they're ready to deploy it to the application, they can simply press this button right here and then fill up this form as well as select the deploy button afterwards. So let's proceed to the recipes page. Here, the administrator can manage all of the recipes that are displayed in the application. So we have several features here, such as the search option, so the administrator can search for specific recipes. They also have this filter option to filter specific recipes. And on this side, we have a view button, which will display the recipe information when pressed. Then we also have an edit button right here. Alright. And then lastly, a delete button. And then on the bottom side, we have this navigation buttons to move to the next page or the previous. And on the top side here, we have an add button. So this is where the administrator can add their own recipes. So they simply have to fill up this form, and once done, they can press this create button to create the recipe. And if you notice, we also have several sections on the top side. We have the shared recipes right here, which are recipes that are shared by the users. And then we also have the pending recipes. So what is the pending recipes? When a user first shares their recipe, it must first be approved by the administrator in order to move it here to the shared recipes section. So the recipe must first be checked by the administrator if it is okay before it is approved for every other user to see. So we have here an approve button, a view button, so the administrator can view that recipe, or we also have a delete button right here. Then we also have a report section right here, and this is where the administrator can see all of the reports for this specific recipe. So for example, if we press this flag button, it should display the details on why this recipe is reported. So here, the user named KP Chef reported this recipe for plagiarism and duplicate recipe, and then the administrator can take further actions such as editing the recipe or deleting it, and once done, they can mark this report as resolved by pressing this button or this button. Moving on to the ingredients page, this is where the administrator can manage the ingredients that are used in the recipes found in the application. So it has similar features to the recipes page, including a search feature, a filter feature, and then we also have here below an edit button and a delete button. Then we also have a plus button. So if the administrator wants to add a new ingredient, they can simply press this button and it should open up this form, and they could fill this up. So they will need to include a name, select a measurement like so, and then also select a categories, and they can also add their own image here or select a predefined image from the ingredients that are already added previously. And once done, they can press this create button to create the new ingredient. So we will cancel this. That's it. Now let's explore the animations page. So this is where the administrator can manage the animations that are found in the step-by-step directions of the mobile application. So similarly, it also has a search feature here, a filter feature here, and then we also have an edit and delete button here. When adding a new animation, they can press this plus button and it should open up this form right here. Now they can simply add a name and select a category, and they can also add their own GIF for the animation right here, or select their own, the predefined animations from the previously already existing animations. And once done, they can press this create button to create that animation. Let's proceed to the Eco Tips page. So this is where the administrator can manage the eco-friendly tips that are displayed for the users to see when cooking, when doing specific cooking procedures. So this is where the administrator can inform the user about specific cooking practices or sustainable cooking practices that they can do when cooking a recipe. So here we have a search feature where the administrator can search for specific eco tips. We also have an edit and delete button right here. And when adding a new eco tip, they can simply press this plus button and it will open up this form. So this is where the administrator can add their tip, and then once done, they can simply press this create button or cancel if needed. Alright, so here we have the accounts page for the administrator panel. This is where the administrator can manage the users or the accounts that are active in the application. So we have a search feature right here, so when the administrator wants to search for specific users. And we also have a disable button right here. So pressing this will disable the account, and then when the user tries to use that account, they can no longer access it because it is disabled. If you notice on the top side, we also have different sections or tabs. So we have the active accounts and the disabled accounts. So the disabled accounts screen or page displays all of the accounts that were previously disabled. So we also have a search button here, and then we have this button right here, which when pressed will allow the administrator to reactivate the account when needed. Now here we have the converter page. So this page works similarly to the converter found in the mobile application. The administrator can select one of these options right here between the volume and the mass to change the measurements. Then they can select their specific measurements they want, including cup, teaspoon, tablespoon, among others. Once done, they can simply add a value right here, and it should automatically convert that value to the value they desired. Lastly, we have the settings page. So this is where the administrator can manage their account. So here, they can update their details including the name of their account, and then update their password by pressing this button, which will send an email to their account. So once the administrator is done with their session, they can simply press this button and press the logout button to log out of the administrator panel. And now it should direct them back to the login page. And that's it for the administrator panel of Kapam-Pamangan.
To validate and enhance the project, a comprehensive system evaluation was conducted involving individuals with expertise in the field. The testing phase was divided into two crucial parts, the alpha and beta testing phase, adhering to ISO 25010 standards for rigorous assessment. In the alpha test phase, 3 IT experts evaluated both the developed mobile application and administrator panel. Criteria such as functional suitability, performance efficiency, compatibility, usability, reliability, security, maintainability, and portability were evaluated based on ISO 25010 standards. The mobile application received an impressive overall mean score of 4.52, showcasing excellent performance. Simultaneously, the administrator panel demonstrated outstanding functionality and received an overall mean score of 4.65, indicating a robust and user-friendly design. Moving on to the beta testing phase, the test involved 65 respondents consisting of 60 students and 5 professors from the Institute of Hospitality and Tourism Management. Similar ISO 25010 criteria were applied, focusing on functional suitability, compatibility, usability, security, and portability. The mobile application showed improvement with an overall mean score of 4.70, achieving an excellent overall result. The administrator panel maintained its excellent performance in the beta testing phase with an even higher overall mean score of 4.89. The increased score reflected significant improvements, reinforcing its effectiveness. Combining the results from both alpha and beta testing phase, both the mobile application and administrator panel showcase continuous quality improvement, displaying improvements on their overall results. These combined results underscore the project's dedication to delivering a fully functional system and a high-quality user experience.
The Kapam-Pamangan cross-platform application for Kapampangan recipes project aligns seamlessly with several sustainable development goals, contributing meaningfully to societal, technological, and cultural advancements.
SDG 9 Innovation and Infrastructure Sub-Goal 9.b Supporting domestic technology development, research, and innovation in developing countries.
Through the development of the mobile application and administrator panel, our project directly supports domestic technology development. The project showcases a commitment to advancing technology. Additionally, the integration of traditional knowledge from renowned Kapampangan recipe books demonstrates research-driven innovation.
SDG 11 Sustainable Cities and Communities Sub-Goal 11.4 Strengthening efforts to protect and safeguard the world's cultural and natural heritage.
The Kapam-Pamangan application acts as a digital archive safeguarding Kapampangan's rich culinary heritages by ensuring the continuity of traditional recipe in sustainable manner. The project actively contributes to the preservation of cultural heritage, aligning with the goal of SDG 11.
SDG 13 Climate Action Sub-Goal 13.3 Improving education, awareness, and capacity on climate change mitigation, adaptation, and impact reduction.
The inclusion of eco-friendly tips within the application demonstrates a commitment to raising awareness about sustainable cooking practices. Users are provided with valuable information to reduce their environmental impact, aligning with the goal of climate action.
Our commitment to SDGs ensure a holistic impact on cultural preservation, technological advancement, and sustainable practices in the digital era.
In conclusion, the Kapam-Pamangan project successfully realized its objectives by developing a comprehensive mobile application and a robust administrator panel, effectively addressing the existing gap in the digital market for recipe applications dedicated to Kapampangan cuisine.
Academic insight, expertise concentration, coupled with rigorous testing and evaluation with iOS 25 silicon standard, ensure the creation of well-designed and user-friendly experience.
Now accessible on Google Play Store and hosted on kapam-pamangan.live. The application stands a significant contribution to both cultural preservation and technological innovation. It serves as a gateway to Pampanga's rich culinary legacy, promoting worldwide learnings, preparation, and innovation of Kapampangan dishes.
Following the modified waterfall model, our project achieves its current goals and lays the groundwork for future efforts in mobile app development and culinary exploration.
Kapampangan aims to leave a lasting legacy, promoting the exchange and innovation of traditional recipes within the Kapampangan community and beyond.
And that concludes our presentation. Thank you! And together, let us discover the flavors of Kapampangan cuisine with Kapam-Pamangan.